Greetings, Troll Queen viewers. Tonight's topic, cults and stranger danger and Kool-Aid. And for the low, low price of $5,000, I can teach you too how to shift and about the supernatural. And in exchange, I will also need your social security number, your address, a recent photo ID. So, we need to cover this cult topic because apparently it's pretty common, and I'm sorry that the video qualities keep changing. I'm trying to find something that works. This one is via tablet. As you can tell, the lighting's a little weird, but the detail's better and the sound's better, and it's not turned the wrong way. So if I keep looking over here, that's because that's where my picture's at. Alright, so it was partially requested, but it was also something that I have noticed is this pop-up of cults and stuff. More specifically, one, I'm trying to remember what the hell they call themselves. The Guild of something. If you give me a moment, I'll pull that up. But while I'm doing that, let's talk about this. Alright, cults. A cult is essentially a dangerous group of people that will make a bunch of promises. Tell you, like, they'll offer you something grand and something that you really, really want. And they make it sound like they can provide you with this. And in return, they ask for things like monetary gain, money, personal information. They'll say, you should come and live on our compound or our territory or something like that. Just generally toxic. Like, it really is a stranger danger situation. For example, one, nobody's going to be able to teach you how to be a certain supernatural. Nobody's going to be able to turn you into a supernatural. I cannot express this enough. Nobody can be turned into a supernatural being. You either are or you're not. That's it. There is no turn, there is no bite, there is no spell, there is no subliminal, nothing. None of this stuff is going to turn you into something that you are not. And I mean, the fact that they say that, oh, well, I can do this, but I need this, that is your first red flag that this person is a fraud. Do not trust them. Do not continue to communicate with them. This person doesn't care about you. They only care about what you can do for them. So, I won't say who. Some of you already know. It was brought to my attention that there was this particular group's guild of something stupid. I don't know. Let's see. So, they've gone by, they're on, there's one group in particular, they're on Kick, they're on YouTube. I actually watched some of their videos, and it's not really videos, it's video, but really it's just scrolling text about coming and living with them and learning from them, and I mean, like, it was outlandish. Like, aside from the horrible typos, and I'm sorry, but I cannot, maybe being the person that I am, I cannot learn from somebody that can't spell the most basic vocabulary on anything magical. Because that right there, you're going to know how to spell this shit if you really know your shit. Just saying. Alright. So, I have pictures of these people. One goes by Cade Dominic. The other one goes by Cat. I don't have a last name on that. They go by Dominic family. They've also gone by the last name Hale, which I think is really laughable because that's from Teen Wolf. But 20-somethings are not going to be these all-powerful beings. They're not. They're not going to have all this magical power to turn you into a vampire or a werewolf or whatever. They're not. And do not trust anyone that tells you that you should come live with them or that you should run away from home. No. No. That is how kids get kidnapped. That is how people turn up missing. That is how people turn up dead. Like, I don't think y'all realize the severity of this stuff. When you latch on to somebody and like, oh yeah, they're my teacher, they're my mentor, and so on, and they're like 19, 20, how much do you really know about this person? Do you know where they actually live? Do you know their real legal name? Look at this stuff. How well do you know them? How long have you known them? If this is someone you've just met for a few months, even a year, a couple years maybe, a couple years max. I mean, yeah, be paranoid. Be paranoid. If like, put your wants to the side and be paranoid. Look at this from a rational point of view. Like, what has this person really given you? Double check what they tell you. Like, if they give you some outlandish claim, go out into the community. We have no problem telling you you're wrong. Like, we're pretty well known for telling people when they're wrong. Like, I mean, I don't know. I never got that whole cult thing, but then I'm inherently paranoid and I'm very scrutinizing. So I don't get it, but I've come across quite a few people that have fallen into this cult trap sort of thing. And it really boils down to they make all these promises of grandeur and promises of power. And I really don't know how much further I can get this point across. But I really want to remember what the name of that group was. But, like, for example, anybody that claims to be a more powerful version of something, that's a red flag. Anybody that claims to be something you've never heard of, that's a red flag. Anybody that claims they have this huge following, like hundreds, that's a red flag. Because I've come to notice, like, anybody that's that well liked, they're only that well liked because they're telling people what they want to hear. Not necessarily the truth. That's probably why I only have 100-something followers. and all the Therians and subliminal channels have like thousands. But anyway, I mean, these are things that are red flag. If they tell you to do something illegal, that is a red flag. That is a huge red flag. Don't do shit illegal. I'ma find you. Just don't do anything illegal. Don't hurt people. Don't hurt people. Don't steal. Do not give these people money. Like, that's like a 101 thing. That's like the golden rule. Don't trust anyone that asks for money in return. I don't care if it's someone that's a hunter. I don't care if it's someone that's a witch. I don't care if it's someone that claims to be an alpha or anything. If they say, oh, I can do this and this is how much it costs, do not trust them. In the years that I have been doing work, the only thing I ever asked for, gas money, food, somewhere to sleep. That's it. Like, that's how it's supposed to be done. And that's how it's always been done. Except for the panderers and the parlor tricks and stuff like that. They only want money because you're a hit it and quit it. And you're not going to get anything in return out of these people. Except possibly personal injury, for starters. And I mean, no self-respecting mentor or teacher is ever going to tell you, oh, you should just run away. Or, oh, you should just come here. None of them's going to tell you that. None. If anybody ever tells you that, run the opposite direction. Like, these people are not your friends. And this whole, what is it? The whole my my way or no way kind of thing. You have to be somewhat flexible. You have to be willing to sit down and explain to people. And I mean, like, for all of you that have not liked me or don't like my methods, one thing you cannot say is I have always explained things. Whether you like my explanation or not is completely irrelevant. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to explain it to you. Or I'm going to tell you I don't know, because I have no problem with saying I don't know something. I'm not going to say, well, this is the way it is, and if you don't like it, kick rocks. And another thing, this whole, what's another one? I'm trying to think of a way of wording it. This whole, if you're in it for life kind of thing. This whole, if you leave, we'll hunt you down thing. That right there should be a big red flag. Just saying. Actually, this lemonade's pretty good. But don't trust people that give you ultimatums. They're just trying to manipulate you. And the truth of the matter is, they can't do shit. If they're having to ask strangers on the internet for money, they probably don't have the resources to actually find you. Like, I mean, that's what cults are. They're manipulation. And they lure you in with the idea of power, and then they try to use the idea of power to control you. That's a no bueno. Look for the community. Don't look for an isolated group of people. If you want to learn, read. Read. All this stuff is in books. Pick up a book. I swear to God, like, all y'all, you're so quick to go out into the community, and it's like, oh, am I this? First of all, you can't ask people on the internet what you are. It just doesn't work that way. You actually have to go out and figure it out on your own, because that is part of the process of developing. It just is. Like, you can't rely on a bunch of 14, 15-year-olds to tell another 14, 15-year-old whether they are or not a supernatural. Like, that shit just drives me up the wall. Pick up a book. Do the research. Look at the symptoms. I mean, it's not that hard. And y'all ask me what the symptoms are, and I'm going to just lightly touch on that. I do not tell people what the symptoms are for the simple reason I don't want, one, fakes coming through and then listing all these symptoms and furthering their fakeness and then changing the information to suit their wants. That is why, part of the reason why I don't list off these symptoms. Part number 2. Knowing the symptoms and not sharing the symptoms makes it easier to call the real ones from the pack of the fake ones. Because you, essentially, if you're in the loop, you have this checklist and you can ask these questions and see if their answers match up. You can't tell people what you are, but you can tell them what they aren't. Very simple. So please do your research. You can find all of this information in books, not online, not on webs.com, because those are personally made sites and people can put whatever they want on them. And that is another source of cultiness. Usually poorly made websites, poorly made groups. If there's a lot of drama, if there's a lot of personnel change, these are red flags as well. And this is just in general, not just for cults, but like all of you that jump in on the whole online pack thing, red flags. And really, some of these online packs are very cult-like as well. But if you want to learn more about magic, pick up some books. Read some books. I mean, it's not hard. It's pretty basic stuff. I mean, obviously avoid stuff like anything with a fantastical name, like Wizard Raven Greybeard or some craziness like that. Avoid those books. Those books probably aren't going to be very good. But I mean, look at history, look at mythology, look at how things match together. Don't look to Alex Hale, I think is one of the names he was going by. and his crackpot guild on YouTube that asks for money. But I guess this concludes my cult stranger danger video. If you guys, and just for the record, if y'all have people come to you with this stuff, feel free to have me check it out. I have no problem doing that. If it makes kids in the community safer, I have no problem whatsoever looking into somebody. I don't. And for those of you that know a little bit more about me than most, you know I have the resources to do so. To check on it. But I'm coming up on my time limit. So, as always, thank you for subscribing. Drop suggestions. Hit me up on Amino. Have a good night.